Since that deadly midair collision, we have learned the NTSB and others have been deeply concerned about the safety of that airspace around DCA for years.
And tonight, 7 News reporter Tom Rousey takes a much closer look at what has and has not been done in the last 12 months to protect everyone who shares the skies above the nation's capital.
In our previous story, we took a look at the many safety lapses that led up to the tragic midair collision in the sky above the Potomac last year. Now we're going to take a look at what has changed since then to try to make the skies safer and what still needs to change.
How did the FAA not know?
On January 29th, when an Army helicopter collided with an incoming commuter jet just short of Reagan National Airport, newly appointed Secretary of Transportation Sean Duffy had been on the job for 1 day. He immediately banned most helicopter traffic along what's called Helicopter Route 4, a path over the Potomac River that passed as close as 75 feet to incoming airplanes, leaving zero margin for error.
They pose an intolerable risk.
Another concern, outdated equipment like this.
It's too old.
A 21st century air traffic control system was long overdue, but it is now already being put in place thanks to an initial $12 billion investment approved by Congress.
It's going to take 3 or 4 years or more because, like finishing your house, it's the fine work at the end that takes all the time.
Steve Scheibner, a former Navy and American Airlines pilot who hosts the popular Captain Steve YouTube page, says that's a great start, but a lot more needs to be done to make aviation safer here in D.C. and nationwide.
Let's have less time talking on a radio, which is very 1930s and 40s-ish of us, and let's get more into texting. There's a technology to text with airplanes where I can see my instruction very clearly on the screen. I hit a button that says accept. It loads it into the computer for me, and the airplane flies it. I don't have to talk to anybody, and I don't have to worry about somebody else talking at the same time I'm talking and blocking my transmission.
There are many safety gaps that are still in place, and we need to close them as soon as possible.
Amy Hunter and Laura Ogendre lost close family in the collision. They've since become aviation safety advocates, promoting the Rotor Act, which eliminates a loophole allowing military helicopters to fly near Reagan National and elsewhere without broadcasting their position. That's important for some military missions, but too risky in American civilian airspace.
We know that that particular technology is incredibly important and should have been put in place much earlier.
The U.S. Senate passed the Rotor Act. Now Amy and Laura are urging members of the House to do the same so other families don't have to suffer as they have.
We don't want this to become just an anniversary story. We don't want this to just be a really sad story that happened to a group of people and then we forget about it as time goes on. Millions of people are traveling every single day. They essentially put their lives into the hands of our system.
Tom Rousey, 7 News.
Now, the Rotor Act that Tom mentioned was received in the House on December 18th. No further action, though, on that bill has been taken ever since. It hasn't even been reported out to a committee yet. And 7 News will continue our coverage throughout the week, tracking the investigation and how victims are being honored. So join us each day here at 5 p.m. for extended coverage and then anytime at WJLA.com.